And now, please have a warm applause for Maja. I would like to welcome on stage Maja, who is the CEO of the Open Rhine Alliance.
Well, good morning. And first of all, I'm 50 plus, so my memory is a bit reduced. That's why I have my favorite toy here, my laptop. I also would love to say a big thank you to Katja and to Andreas for inviting me and sharing their own Alliance view on this journey. And though my speech will be quite different to Kim's, probably the results might be quite similar, which is interesting, right? Let me briefly introduce myself. I'm actually Maja. I'm joined the ON Alliance in the beginning of the year as a COO. In contrast to most of you, my telco or my deep tech know-how is quite limited. Why is it worthwhile that I'm standing here nevertheless? Well, I started actually my career in procurement, in tech and IT procurement. See, that's where the similarity starts. Actually with a very large system integrator. Yeah, I moved then to major operators where I helped to build highly profitable broadband and video business with much higher margins than the mobile area. Well, later I joined the technology division, and my core skill is actually to do large transformations of organizations, hopefully also of industries. Let's see. Heading large transformation, merging networks after acquisitions, integrating critical systems, and aligning large engineering team to deliver strategy, not specifications. Well, then I had actually the chance to work in startups. I headed one startup with a scope on virtual networks, and another one I just did a journey to the IT area, where I focused very much on IT development, but also in AI over the last few years. So this actually gave me a much closer look into product development. And that's why it's important, and why that's important I will show you later. So while I don't have a deep technical view as most of you, I can offer some useful ideas, and I'm very happy to also listen to yours. So my role as a COO of the ON Alliance is not to lobby, not to push political agendas. My role is really to focus on ON Alliance and our member ideas and vision, which is not always the same thing, which is important to consider. Yeah. For us, Open RAN not only has been a technology, it has been a movement. We have seen here some decades and with a different major aspect we looked at. So, and it's far beyond technical puzzles. Very much a similarity to the modular approach. So it's about solving structural and organizational challenges as well. Yeah, governments and policymakers may draw their own conclusions from our technical work. That's happening. But the ON Alliance remains focused on engineering and implementations. And this is also the scope of this summit here, right? Implementation. How do we get there? So if we move and look what has been our journey so far, it has been a tough one. Yeah, when the ON started, it was 7 years ago, actually, the ON Alliance was founded. It was not a finished system, it was actually a black box. It was a vision we had as an ON Alliance, being founded by 5 totally different operators throughout the world. And a belief that radio access network could be more open, intelligent, and more interoperable. Yeah? It doesn't mean it needs to be scattered. This journey hasn't anything but easy. Yeah? If you have a look at the guy or the girl, it's a tough one, right? We knew what the direction would be or should be. Even though the climb in the picture may look like a single person, it's not. It's made out of team effort and the work together of really totally different cultural backgrounds. So that's what brought the On Alliance here today. Where do we stand right now? Well, it's not always an upward climb, and right now, quite some of you, organizations, the operators, vendors, also the academics, we sometimes feel that we are not plateau right now. Yeah. Someone actually said here yesterday, well, it feels a bit like there's one foot on the brake. How can we change that? Well, progress is there, but acceleration not. So this makes the movement even more important, and that we keep all pushing together. Not operators alone, not vendors alone. The key message is very simple. Open RAN is not longer about planning, we are now in the phase of execution. Yeah? I was asked to bring our technical details, which we are now looking at. Well, I actually brought them to you, so you might want to have a look at this. But this is actually what we are doing this year and next year. And you know the planning phases, right? So this is actually already history, though it's implemented in 26. Yeah? So maybe it's not worth to look too much into that, but to look into the future. Yeah? The critical point is actually that we not only have to look at the specification of standards, but we have to look into the products. Yeah? And that's what's at the end selling. It's not specification which are selling, it's products. And it's the products the vendors are producing and the operators have to buy. And that's where our ecosystem is not working yet perfectly fine, because everyone needs to earn money. And that's not happening yet. So, the hardest step, again, is that we cannot do it alone as operators. Vendors cannot do it alone. We must bring products to markets, and we really must deploy them, or the operators have to deploy them. And that's only then when Open RAN will move from promise to reality. So that's why with the bridge from specification, standard, feature, product is a critical one here again. Well, and that's actually why we as the ON Alliance are now looking into the future. No. Sorry for that one. So we actually started a survey a few months ago, and that includes actually not only operators, that's not only including vendors, and it's not a survey to produce headlines. It's really to understand our members. We are around 270 members right now. In the beginning, we were very much operator focused, and still there might be good reasons for looking into that, because that's the ones who are implementing. But if we are not understanding what our members, the vendors, are doing, we will not change the ecosystem jointly. So by actually approaching this survey, we are looking into 6 strategic areas which we think are relevant for the next years to make the ecosystem work. So that's certification and badging, and the I14Y Lab Summit is a perfect example here, and we will hear much more about it. But it's also chipsets. Yeah, so the world is actually ruled by chipsets, not only in this industry, but also in other industries. And if we are a bit critical looking into our industries, our understanding of chipset is really very much reduced. We have the open source community. It was also mentioned the last 2 days. We also will have a session today. But what does it mean? What do we really have to do to make that fly? We have the system integration part. Also very large one, because it's really like, how can we make it work, and getting away or removing the fear of the operators that it's not working, that is too complex. Yeah? And that's actually an area where we can earn, or where some people might earn money. But that's not a bad thing, because the job of system integration is a very tough one. Yeah? So maybe we want to look into that, and as mentioned before by Kim, so in the IT area, system integrators, you pay 100 million, and 2 years later you will have to pay the double price, but you're aware of that, yeah, and you take that into consideration. Yeah? Maybe we don't want to pay that amount, and maybe we want to be more successful with system integration, but nevertheless we have to pay for that. So then we have 6G and 3GPP alignment. For everyone here in the room, 6G is an important topic. It will take some years. But as 5G wasn't successful, nobody is really eager to do that. So maybe we also want to consider doing that differently. And that's very important for the ORAN Alliance to look into the 6C approach. How will we really make that? Because that's the chance for Open RAN to be successful. If we don't take that chance, we can go back to the black box, right? For the ORAN Alliance, we have been really much focused on standards or on specifications, how to design that. But if we are doing this in our own room, without speaking with other SDOs, without speaking to other organizations, we will only do specifications which might not be relevant. So that's why we are really very much looking into improving our relationship with other SDOs, with 3GPP, to ensure what we do is relevant also in the future. So speaking a lot about technical topic or system integration, in the end, it's a journey, as I mentioned. And a journey is about people, it's about organization. So that's why we also look, are we doing the right thing? How are we doing the things? How can we speak better with other organizations? And that's why we are very much critical looking into our organization. How can we improve? How can we become quicker? How can we become better? So this is actually our track map, identifying when support is needed and how really keep the execution on course. So, what does it actually mean now? We are interviewing actually all our members, but we are also looking into other industries. How can we copy smart? How can we copy smart on chipsets? How can we copy smart on system integration? So you are all invited here to support our survey, and we are very happy to share it. And again, for us, it's really about designing the future, looking into another industry, into mobile phones, into the hardware. Apple is always meant or claimed to know what we want in the future. Yeah. So if I ask you, you might have an idea, but we also need to design it, probably with some crazy ideas. So what success looks like, I've mentioned what we will look into, but in the end, it's about Open RAN. And if we have 1,000 different products, or if we have modular systems, that's still open. Yeah, but what we all want here in this room is Open RAN. So let's get on the journey, try some crazy ideas jointly, and really make it happen. Thank you.